This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Please stick around to the end of the video to learn more. There's a new movie that came out not too long ago that 1 million people are asking me to review. Okay guys, I have to level with you real quick. I wasn't going to make a video on this movie until I saw it, but after watching it, I decided, you know what? There's so much stupid stuff that happens, I couldn't not talk about it. I mean, come on, it's called SLOTHERHOUSE. It's a movie about a killer sloth. How could I pass this movie up? I took the bait, guys, okay? I took the bait. It was hanging there. It looked juicy. I had to, okay? Don't judge me. So yeah, obviously this movie is trying to be stupid. And in this video, I might come across a bit pedantic, but it's all for fun anyways. So don't take anything I say in this video too seriously. It was directed by a guy named Matthew Goodhue. This is the first project of his that I'm seeing. It seems like a lot of directors take this approach. They try to make a movie as dumb as possible in the hopes that a ton of people will talk about it because of how stupid it is. This movie kind of reminds me of Zombievers or the movie The Drone. Ridiculous movies about a ridiculous thing killing people. So yeah, this is the sloth in SLOTHERHOUSE. It's very realistic. It's definitely not a puppet. It's, I mean, I suppose I should respect the fact that they're using practical effects because I can't even imagine how horrible a CGI killer sloth would be. But anyway, the movie starts with the extremely real sloth getting grabbed and pulled from his tree by an alligator. I don't know if it's a crocodile or an alligator. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. Of course, the sloth kills the gator and crawls to shore. He's then shot by a tranq gun by a bunch of poachers. Whenever we see the sloth, it makes these baby groaning sounds. Just listen to this shit. This movie does this thing whenever a new person walks on screen, a little pop-up will come on screen that shows us how many followers they have. It gets old very fast. But yeah, I get it, movie. Followers on everything. That's the whole lesson of this movie. It's pretty silly that this movie even has a theme, right? Why is the movie SLOTHERHOUSE trying to teach me a lesson about the inaneness of follower counts online? I know this phone bad message is vapid and trite at best, but I still think it's hilarious that SLOTHERHOUSE, the movie about a killer sloth, is trying to teach me about the fatuousness of follower counts online.
Yeah, no, see, that's sus.
The movie follows this girl named Emily. We learn that she's hungry for internet fame. She runs into a guy at the mall. This interaction is so silly. Like, she takes a selfie with this complete stranger out of nowhere. It's so weird. He then says jokingly,
"If that photo goes viral, I would just need the credit."
What? What a weird thing to say. Why the hell would that random selfie go viral? It's even a weird thing to joke about. So he gives her his social media handle. It's kind of hilarious thinking about a guy who illegally sells exotic animals to post them on a social media platform. But sure, she looks him up right then and there and finds the picture of the sloth. He then offers to sell it to her to boost her social media numbers. We're then introduced to the sorority our protagonist is staying at. Emily desperately wants to be president of the sorority like her mom once was. Emily believes that the only way that she can beat this girl is by buying a sloth from this random sketchy dude she met at a mall. So she texts the number on the card he gave her. They agree to meet up so she can get the sloth. This dude lives in Dracula's castle or something. Motherfucker lives in a pirate dungeon. We see the sloth in a cage. He says, "What would happen if I don't give you these pills?" Well, it's a sloth. I doubt it would be much different if it weren't drugged. Like, these things already act like they're drugged, dude. He takes it out of the cage and it kills him off screen. This poor actor did his best with the sloth puppet, but it looks so bad still. Emily arrives at this dude's house and walks in to find the sloth. So she just takes it. She just steals the sloth. She gets spooked by a tiger or something, so she just steals it. Wow, okay. When she arrives at the sorority, she carries a box with the sloth in it up the stairs. Brianna demands to know what's in the box for some weird reason. Why wouldn't she assume it's clothing or something? Instead, she tries to take the box from Emily, and it gets flung over the railing. The sloth is still chill after this for some reason. Emily suggests that they make the sloth the sorority's new mascot, and practically every girl in the sorority sorority agrees with this immediately, without thinking about it for 1 second. Ever wonder why there isn't a sports team named the Sloths? It's because a sloth is a universal symbol for laziness or being a stoner. I'm pretty sure sloths were used in anti-weed commercials. Sloth is one of the 7 deadly sins, for fuck's sake. And this group of girls is like, hell yeah, let's send a message to the rest of the school that we're all incredibly lazy. The only person that has a realistic problem with the sloth is Emily's friend Madison. She doesn't like the fact that Emily has a random exotic animal in her possession. There's this incredibly stupid girl named Zenny, and her acting is so painful. She's meant to play this like doofus type of person, but she doesn't dress or look like that type of person. Instead, she just speaks like one of those people, and it's not convincing at all. It's just annoying.
That's real mad, yo.
Apparently, this sloth made Emily famous on the internet over the span of a day. It's very believable. Even if she had a real alien as her pet, it would take longer than that. The sloth then uses Emily's computer with its big long claws. It just types away with its claw fingers. It goes through her social media profile and it finds that picture of Emily with the exotic animal guy from the mall. Just look at them when the picture was taken. It shouldn't look like this. The sloth recognizes this guy, so it gets very angry. Emily named the sloth Alpha, even though the name of their sorority is Sigma Lambda Theta, so it doesn't make much sense. But I like the name Susan, so I'll be calling this sloth Susan. Susan the Slaughtering Sloth. Yes. This sloth, its name is Sue. Susie Lou Who. I'll be calling it that throughout the rest of the video. There's an edit when a bunch of hearts pop up above these girls' heads to show us that these partygoers like Emily. I just want to say that I hate this editing style. This kind of works in movies like Scott Pilgrim that have a comic book feel throughout. But in a movie like this, I just hate it. A girl holds Susan the Sloth and she is like,
I'm like heart horny.
why would she say that? Is it so hard to say I'm in love? And then Emily leaves this random girl with the sloth in her arms. She just got this thing like yesterday. Brianna had tasked this girl with getting rid of the sloth, so she brought Susan outside and put it on the ground and left. Poor Susie Lou Who. And then the power to the house goes out because of a storm outside. Susan the sloth gets hit by a car as she tries to cross the street. In the next scene, Susan spikes the girl's drink that left her outside. What? Okay, sure. Susan the sloth then seemingly teleports around this girl's room before bringing the claw of death down on her. And then the movie just continues as if this girl was never killed. Yeah, the movie just goes on like she never existed. Susan is helping the sorority with miscellaneous activities until the election. Emily gets more popular as the days go on. Susie Lou Who closes a girl's sleeping bag and pushes her off a balcony. The sloth lifted her in the air and pushed her off like any sloth would. It kills a bunch of other girls, one of which it beats to death with a straightening iron. Susie Lou Who turns one girl into the Joker. All the while, life goes on at the sorority like nothing happened. All of these dead girls? Who are they? I don't care. Susan must have been hiding them, or eating them more like. She was probably eating them. Susie Lou Who sunbathes with the annoying girl. Madison tries to take the sloth to the shelter, but Emily stops her. Susan had taken Madison's phone out of her pocket and flings it into the street to make Madison walk into the road, so she gets hit by a car. She survives though. Emily is at the hospital with Madison in the next scene. Susan surprises a girl from in a shower with a loofah. That's Susie Lou Who. She's a weirdo. The sorority turns into a strange satanic cult on the night of the election. They're all dressed in red robes for some reason. Emily arrives late, but who cares about that? Susie the sloth uses the GPS on the cell phone to find the location of the hospital Madison is at. It gets behind the wheel of what appears to be a Mustang and drives there. You know how a sloth can just drive. How did the sloth know that Madison survived the crash? I don't know. There was probably some sort of explanation. I don't care. Emily wins the election, by the way. Nobody cares. There's a really weird edit when Susie Lou Who, the sloth, hits a stoplight. And of course, being a sloth, it obeys traffic laws. And then the party stops for a moment before the light turns green again. It's a very clever edit. The cop finds the car that Susan was driving and with her gun drawn, searches the vehicle like she's ready ready to kill someone because speeding is a violation, punishable by death. When Susan the Sloth makes her way to the hospital, it snaps a selfie of them together before smothering Madison with a pillow. Brianna finds a dead girl in a bathtub and screams, "Are you telling me this is the first body they found?" Believable. Emily walks in on Brianna getting choked out by Susie Lou Who. There's a scene of Emily and Brianna freaking out in a bathroom. It's awful. The acting is painful to say the least.
What do you even know about those things?
I know that they're slow.
Slow? Did she look slow to you?
Oh my God, we're all gonna die.
How do they make this more and more epic every time?
This next part is pretty funny though. Susan spins in a chair menacingly before flying towards Emily. Emily smacks it with a toilet cover, so it goes flying out a window. It kills a bunch of girls in a shower and uses a wire like Tarzan. Susie Lou Who, the slaughtering sloth, hands Emily a cell phone through a door to show her the selfie it took of Madison earlier. Susie's a petty little thing. There's this 40-year-old woman in the sorority. She's lying there dying. Emily shit talks her life decisions while she's lying there. This is when the movie tries to give a lesson about internet fame. But I promise you, not a soul watching this movie gives a shit about that. Apparently, Susan the Sloth started its own social media account with the ever-appropriate handle Killer Sloth with no spaces. Each post is a different kill with a description and emojis. She's a very smart sloth. What's the point of killing people? You know, as a sloth, if you're not going to gain a social media following out of it. Near the end of this movie, Emily finally learns that maybe stealing random people's sloths might be a bad idea. Zenny, the annoying girl, survives somehow. She pops up again with a katana on her back. Her hair is all messed up. She has a showdown with Susan the Sloth. They both injure each other. Susan picks up the katana to attack them again. Susie the Sloth wielding a katana is quite the sight. I guess Madison didn't die from the pillow because she shows up randomly and shoots Susan. Emily's boyfriend says, "But it's a slaughterhouse," at the end of the movie. God, I hate it.
But it's a slaughterhouse.
Brianna walks down a flight of stairs with Susie Lou Who on her back. It's pretty funny. The sloth is wearing a tiara. Susan strangles Emily. Why not cut her throat with those big claws, dude? It worked pretty well on that guy earlier. Anyway, Susie points towards a random picture of Panama because the sorority had a random picture of Panama on its walls, and I guess that's Susie's home. At the end of the movie, Emily and her friends start a foundation to stop poaching. Yeah, this movie's a 3 out of 10 at best, probably a 2. It has some funny moments here and there, but out of all the dumb movies I've seen, it's definitely not the best. This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of online classes and members who come together to find inspiration and take the next step in their creative journey. What I love most about Skillshare is that it has a learn by doing approach to teaching. Whatever you want to learn, you can do it hands-on with the experts. Skillshare has classes on a wide variety of topics, including illustration, graphic design, photography, creative writing, animation, music production, film and video, marketing, productivity, you name it, and you can probably learn it on Skillshare. Personally, I've been using it for creative writing. I have this massive comic book project that I'm working on, and Skillshare has helped a ton. There's a ton of classes that I've already taken, but one that I found invaluable was Storytelling 101, Character, Conflict, Context, and Craft by Daniel Jose Older. But that's just one of many. I also really loved Creative Writing for All, a 10-day journaling challenge by Emily Gould. Whether you want to learn the basics of watercolor painting or learn how to start your own creative business, Skillshare has classes to take you from beginner to pro alongside a supportive community. Skillshare has creative career-focused classes too. Want to unlock your creativity and learn something new? Skillshare is giving you a 1-month free trial. The first 500 people to use the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now back to the review. So yeah, let me know what you would like me to review next in the comment section down below. Check out alienclothing.com if you haven't already. We got a lot of new designs over there that I think you would like this and this and this and this. Aren't they so sick? I bet you want them. Get them before they sell out. Thank you so much to all my patrons that make videos like this possible. If you're scrolling up the screen right now, I love you. Thank you so much. You can join these people by going to patreon.com/ElvisTheAlien.